Hey class, in this video we are going to continue the discussion on the basic theory. Firstly, we are going to introduce some of the characteristics of Chinese medicine. The first question that we are going to propose is, what's Chinese medicine? So the definition, traditional Chinese medicine, also known as TCM or CMA, originated in China. It is a medical science that uses natural science to understand and study human health and diseases through integrating multidisciplinary knowledge. So from the definition, you will see that traditional Chinese medicine, firstly, it is from China. There's no doubt that the knowledge. This will affect the background, especially the cultural background of Chinese medicine. It is a medical science. It uses natural science to understand what it's going to do to understand and study the object is human health and disease through different knowledges in different fields. So from this definition, we're going to see medical science, natural science, and our focus is on human health and diseases. The category Chinese medicine belongs to natural science. Natural science, when we talk about natural science, we're going to focus on the human health, the development, the mature, the aging of the human health, the physical structure, the physiology of the human health, of human body, and the development of diseases. So all these topics are our focus in Chinese medicine, and all these are related to human health and diseases. Chinese medicine also has the social science characteristics. The social science characteristics can be reflected in our theory, especially when you treat patients, we begin to consider the social status of the patient, or the social background of the patient, as these backgrounds may affect the health of human. For example, patients from rural Africa, poverty, the lack of food, and when compared with patients from a very wealthy families or very clean environment. So the environments in rural health and in rural areas and the environment, especially for the hygiene in the cities, the social backgrounds may affect the health. They also may have different diseases, or they more likely have different trends of diseases. So these are related to the social science. The Chinese medicine is greatly influenced by the Asian philosophy. So we're going to use the ancient philosophy to analyze the natural science, to understand and study. How to study, we're going to use the ancient philosophy, such as the yin and yang theory, the five elements theory, to analyze human health and diseases, as well as the pathogens, interdisciplinary infiltration. So different knowledge in different field. What kind of field? We have different knowledges. In Chinese medicine, we have different knowledge in astronomy, something related to the sky, something related to the star. For example, the example we mentioned in the previous video, the summer solstice or the winter solstice. So that's the location the, between the Earth and the Sun. So that's some information from the astronomy. We're going to, we need to understand the knowledge in meteorology. The meteorology is the knowledge that's going to study the climate. The climate changes. The changes in climate may affect human health. For example, there's one story we discussed in the history. I said that before the COVID, half a years before COVID, the outbreak of the COVID 2020 January or 2019 December, although it hasn't been reported, but we have some cases reported in China. It's officially reported in January 2020. However, in 2019, in June, the some experts from Beijing University of Chinese Medicine, he already discussed that we might suffer from pandemic at the end of this year or early next year, which means we might suffer from pandemic from at the end of 2019 or early 2021, early 2020. That's almost half a year before the pandemic of COVID-19. How did the expert knew we might have pandemic? Although he couldn't confirm at that time we are going to have. However, he said we might have the possibility to have pandemic in a few months. How did he know? That's from the knowledge of meteorology. This knowledge has been recorded in 黄帝内经. So from our classic in 黄帝内经, we got the seven articles discuss of the meteorology in details, and also some other quotes focus on the diseases. For example, there's one quote that says that if the in 黄帝内经, there's one quote described that if if the people suffer from coldness, so for example, if in winter it's very cold, and in that area, the population there, in the next spring, the patient may suffer from some pandemics. From another quote, it says that if the people suffer from heat, if in one summer the climate is very hot, and then the people there may suffer from diarrhea in autumn. So these are the knowledge from meteorology. If you knew the principles, you knew the laws of the governments, or as a practitioner, you may prepare for your practice, or you may prepare for the patient in the next few months as authorities, for example, as a country. The governments, if they knew the knowledge, they may assist to prepare the next pandemic, or they also may have some interventions to stop this possibility of the future diseases. So these are the information from the 黄帝内经, from meteorology. The geography. As we said before, that China has a very big boundary from the north. So that's a draw of the map of China. China is as big as 8 times South Africa. So 8 times the size of South Africa. The geography will affect our health. In the east, next to the coast. In the south, it's very hot. In the north, it's very cold. In the west, That's the high ground, the plateau. And these different areas, different locations, geography, the difference in different geography will affect our human health. If we use South Africa as an example, we are in Johannesburg. Some other people they stay in Durban, while others they stay in Cape Town. What are the difference between Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town? Johannesburg has we are in the high grounds, more than 1,000 kilometers. Durban and Cape Town, they are sea level. So the climate, the geography will affect the climate. In Johannesburg, the climate, the weather is very dry, or the air is very dry. In Durban, humid compared with Johannesburg and Durban. However, the Durban and Cape Town, these two are next to the sea, at sea level. The difference is Cape Town is not as hot as Durban. So the climate, the weather, the temperature in all these different cities will affect our human health. So when we see patients, we need to consider where does the patient come from. If the patient stay in Joburg, or the patient stay in Cape Town, or in Durban, you need to take these geography differences into your consideration when you see patients. And how to consider this? That's also from our study, the geography difference. The agriculture. The agriculture will affect our herbal medicine, as well as some of our herbal medicine, because more than 10,000 different herbs in the records. And then the most commonly used herbs will count about 500 different types. The herbal medicine, more than 2/3 of them are our daily food. That's from agriculture, biology, phytology. These are all related to herbal medicine. Mineralogy, something related to the mind. Some of the chemicals, the metallurgy, and also related to the metallurgy technique, how to purify the mind. That's from the very early, from the Taoism. They want to live forever. So the story, if you still remember, when we talk about Ge Hong is a Taoist. He was a Chinese medicine practitioner, but he also a Taoist. So he believed in Taoism. This school, they pursue longevity. They don't want to die. They want to live forever. So they try to take some minerals, they take some mines, minerals, and then they thought these minerals can help you to be longevity. They developed the technique of metallurgy. The metallurgy technique is the ancestor of pharmaceutical analysis. And then the next one, military science. Military science, what are we going to do with military science? We are seeing human health. We are seeing human diseases. What's the relationship between military science and human diseases? In Chinese medicine, we think the pathogens is the enemy. Our human health, our immune system is our army. So when we treat diseases, we actually thinking about the fight or the battle between your immune system and your enemy. So these fights, you're going to use the military science, how to win the war between your immune system and the pathogens, how to win the war. So that's how you're going to formulate your prescription for military science. How many general you're going to use in your for prescription, how many soldiers you're going to use, what are the functions of each soldier. So these are all the military science. A patient suffers from chronic sinuses. We also suffer from acute asthma. The patient experiences tachypnea, the breathing, the short of breath, the breathing problem. In the treatments, you got two enemies. In the war, you got two enemies. One is stronger, one's weaker. During the war, which one are you going to treat first and why? So all these knowledge from military science, how to win the war. So one country fighting with two countries. How are you going to fight these two countries? How are you going to win the war? Your immune system fighting with two enemies, two diseases. How are you going to fight them? Which one are you going to treat first? Are you going to treat the disease A first or B first? Or are you going to treat them at the same time? So these are the military science, how to win the war. You're going to use this way of thinking in your treatments. We're going to use math in our practice, the winemaking or breathing techniques. These are we're going to use this especially in the process of herbal medicine or the use of herbal medicine. These techniques are very important in Chinese medicine. So as you can see here, we just use a few examples. You will see that Chinese medicine is a very comprehensive medical system, very comprehensive medical science. In order to practice well, you need to know astronomy. What does it mean by summer solstice? During the summer solstice, what has been changed in the environment? And how are we going to adapt the changes? The distance, the relationship between the sun and the earth, the distance, the positions from the astronomy. How can they affect our human health? These are something we need to focus. Climate. So as you can see, we use a few examples that you will understand that the different knowledge in different fields. The second question that we are going to specify is the objects of Chinese medicine. As from the definition, we knew that the Chinese medicine we study on human health and diseases. So firstly, we focus on human health. We do not focus on animals. They also have herbal medicine for animals, but that's also considered Chinese medicine, a subcategory of Chinese medicine, but that's not in the category of human health. So that's not our focus, not our objects. Also from here, we need to answer our confusion. Will the study of Chinese medicine a conflict to your religion? We have studied some of the stories, especially from the legends that's in the history. We have introduced the snake lady, 女娲, that she was a female god of the Chinese culture. The Chinese culture thought that the human being is from 女娲. 女娲, this snake lady, she made the human being. So that's where human come from. Qi gallery. This is from Taoism. From the Taoism, they think that the qi, the clean qi, the clean qi, when they gather together, become human being. And then the cloudy qi, or the dirty or unclean qi, when they gather together, they become animals. So that's where the human comes from. From Buddhism, it thought that human come from previous life. From Christian, human come from the God. From evolution, human is come from the evolution of other animals or monkeys. We also have different religions, so we're not going to highlight one by one. But as you can see here, only from here, we got different ideas of where human come from. And also, another topic, after we pass away, where are we go to? From Christian, you might go to the heaven or the hell. From Buddhism, you go to the next life. From Taoism, when the qi dispersed, you disappeared, then nothing goes to the next after death. From evolution, I have no idea what's going on. As you can see, there were so many different ideas, different thoughts before life and after life. So, will the study affect your religion? Will the study conflict your religion? The answer is no. The reason is Chinese medicine, we focus on human health and diseases. Something before life, we don't focus on, no matter what you believe. We don't discuss, doesn't really matter to me. Where are we going to after death, after passing away? I don't care. That's not our object. We only focus on in this short period of our life. We only focus on here. After life, before death. When we said after life, it's not after birth. It can be before birth. It can be before birth. The fetal health. That's also the focus of Chinese medicine. So from the fetal and before death. So that's what we focus on. So no matter what's your religion, what you believe in, where are we come from, where we go to, no matter what you believe, we don't focus on there. So the study of Chinese medicine will not affect your religion. And also the study of Chinese medicine, as we mentioned previously, there's no religion, there's no spiritual aspects in Chinese medicine. We don't use spiritual aspects or spiritual substance to heal, to treat the diseases. We only use medical science from herbal medicine or acupuncture to treat the disease or to maintain the human health. So this will answer your question. Will the study conflict to your belief? The answer is no. In this video, we have clarified the definition of Chinese medicine, the focuses of Chinese medicine, and also we have highlighted that Chinese medicine, we only focus on human health and diseases. Thank you for your attention. In the next video, we're going to talk about the formation and development of the theoretical system of Chinese medicine.